Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about pumping on the go. A lot of you, especially the exclusive pumpers, are worried because they're in this pump schedule and pump routine, but obviously they might have to go out or meet their friends for coffee or take their little one maybe swimming or something, and they're wondering how you go about pumping on the go. So I'm just going to share my experiences. Of course, I'm not saying like this is the only way or the right way, but this is how I managed to get around it. So in the beginning stages, obviously there was lockdown, so I didn't actually really go out for the beginning, beginning stages. I was just building up my supply, etc. But when I did go out, so it was probably around when he was maybe, I want to say 3 months maybe, I went to London, and when my alarm went off, obviously I'd pack my pumps, and in a travel cooler bag I'd have my sterilised Steri-Feed bottles that were already labelled, because obviously I'd know the time that I was going to be pumping. It'd have the date and time on already. I'd take, this sounds weird I know, but I'd take kitchen roll with me. I'd take a plastic bag to put my pump parts into after. I'd take a muslin, and I think that's all. So that would be the items that I packed. And obviously I'd take the ice packs as well for the cooler bag. For when you've pumped, you put the milk in there to obviously make it last. So then when you got home, you could pop the milk either in your freezer or into the fridge. So my alarm would go off and I'd already have my pump already set up. So my pump would be set up with the sterilised bottles that I'd be pumping into, and obviously I'd already have my Steri-Feed, which is what I put my milk into, the bottles, which I've spoken about on my storing milk video. So then my pump alarm would go off, so I'd whip out the pumps. I would, if I was in the car, then I'd do it in the car. If I was at a restaurant, I'd do it in a restaurant. Like, I really didn't care. Like, if I was breastfeeding my baby, I'd be whipping out my boob and putting the muslin around me anyway. So what difference is it with pumps? I'd have the double pump. If you have the Mumba bra, they're really, really good. They help you do it hands-free. Okay, but if you're not wearing the Mumba bra, that's fine. At first I didn't know anything about it. So I would pop the double pumps underneath. I'd then attach the muslin around me. I'd attach the muslin around me. Then obviously I'd pull down my straps and I'd pop on my pump. And then I would put obviously the pump machine as such on the table and express. And I do that for 20 minutes to half an hour. And then afterwards, obviously, I bring off the pumps, keep the muslin around, bring up my straps, take off the muslin, and then I deal with the milk situation. So I take away my pump tubes from the pump parts. I'd obviously put away the big machine back into the bag. I'd then empty the milk into the sterilised Steri-Feed bottles and pop them into the travel cooler bag with the ice freezer packs. And then what I do is, because obviously I might potentially have to pump again whilst I'm out for another 3 hours, I'll have a couple of the bottles, the sterilised bottles, with me that I attach onto the pump. And for the rest of the pump parts, I will just dry with kitchen towel, because that's the only way I could do it at first. If they did have access to a bathroom, then I'd run it through with warm water. But if they didn't, then that's another way that I had to. If I was like travelling in a car, then obviously I didn't have access to warm water, so I just have to kitchen towel it. But the bottles were sterilised anyway, so that was fine. And I'd put them back into the plastic bags. So I appreciate, obviously, you're not sterilising your pump every time, but to be honest, I don't sterilise my pump every time. I actually just wash my pump with warm soapy water, which is absolutely fine. It saves time. But if you're on the go, you're on the go, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you don't have a portable sink in a car when you're travelling like 6 hours, and you just have to do what you have to do. But I do take extra sterilised bottles that I do whip onto the pump, and I do take the storage pots with me, or the freezer bag, so that everything's with me. And yeah, the kitchen towel, or I go into the bathroom if there is one and rinse it through with warm soapy water there, or not even soapy water. If there's not the right soap, I'll just rinse it through with warm water and then obviously dry it with a kitchen towel. So that's how I pump on the go. Hopefully that helps you. I've been doing that honestly for as long as I can remember, probably around 3 months. And then obviously it gets easier as time goes on because you're pumping less, so you're going longer without pumping. So soon I'll be at the stage where I'm just pumping in the morning and going through to the evening, so I'll be able to just pump at home, or obviously if I'm staying overnight somewhere then there, but it does become a lot more manageable. But try not to like worry about pumping on the go or anything. I know a lot of people, you know, kind of get bogged down with the whole, oh my god, I haven't sterilised my pump and stuff like that. Like, don't be hard on yourself, because, you know, there is no other way of doing it. So yeah, I hope that helps. So question of the day. I have frozen my colostrum in the freezer. How do I go about giving my baby the frozen colostrum? So I took my frozen colostrum with me to the hospital and I gave it to the midwives. And when he was born, they obviously had put it in the fridge so it defrosted, and we gave it to him via a syringe. Or if you want to keep it at home for when the baby's sick, again, you can either defrost it and give it to your baby via syringe, or you can get, you can get these little mini bottles that you can feed it them to, but I think the syringe is fine. If you froze it in the syringe, you can just give it to them with a syringe. But obviously you've got to make sure that it is defrosted. I think if you leave it in the fridge to defrost, it takes like roughly, I think it's like 24 hours. Mine was in the fridge defrosting for, or you can also leave it out to get to room temperature. So yeah, that's the question of the day. And hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you do, then if you can click the like button, and if you can subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and my Instagram as well is here if you can give me a follow. I hope you guys are all good and look forward to seeing you over on my next video.